Oh, we did a picture. Like,
Okay, we just got finished at the beach.
We just got changed.
Finished at the beach, and
Oh, that was fun.
where are we headed now?
Let's get some ice cream.
Some ice cream now?
I don't know if I want to get some ice cream. I'm not really that hungry.
But you're not the only one.
Somebody's door is
Yeah,
open. Probably mom's or Kim.
Cameron, wait.
Cold here. Not
So,
this hot.
Donovan and I got chocolate peanut butter ice
He
cream.
got a lot.
I got double.
Just
You
pay
got
attention
singles.
to you eating it, okay?
Called explosion.
Yeah, and then my mom got a soda, Nana got a soda, Dana got a soda. Chocolate peanut butter.
I'll just take some.
They have to put jelly beans on here, but I
On the
ate
top.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
Did you say thank
So,
you,
yeah.
Cameron?
Thank you.
I treated.
Well, you did get something.
So we're going on the boat rides. Going on the boat rides. Waiting for them. Gonna throw this stuff out.
Yeah, we go to the grass a little.
Going on the
It's
boat
too
rides.
hot for her palms. I know. But the best.
What are they doing? What's Dana doing in there?
Well, here it is.
Yeah, I need sunscreen on. I got Donovan.
Yeah.
Are we going on the boat tour?
Oh, it's so spray room. There's so many tadpoles down there. Cameron.
We're going on the boat tour down there. Scenic boat tour.
You guys can just hang.
Nana's up
Look how
there.
deep that is.
It's pretty deep.
That's seaweed.
That's
All the fishes smoke weed down there.
the fishes. There's Dana.
Look at the spider web. Get that.
That's so cool.
That's so weird, bro. Bigger one over here.
We're gonna go on it now.
Like Nita.
Donovan, you're very
Sister
excited.
Babe. Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you a favor? If you see
Mom,
any
you're
really
excited?
special pictures that you took, could you
My hat is so
bring them over
clean.
to my
Oh yeah, hat review coming about like.
She said,
No.
Cameron, you need to clean
We're on the boat. We're on the boat.
I know, it's hot in here.
We're on the boat. Almost.
You can feel the breeze off the check on that little tour. So here's the lake.
We'll get some pictures along the way.
My head is so over here with this hat on.
Yeah. I'm exhausted from swimming in the heat.
His hat review is coming soon. That's your peak.
Yeah.
More peak. And then when we check into the other hotel, we'll show you what you do.
Yeah. So,
Alright, see ya.
see ya.
Yeah, everybody's happy, so you can start. I am Jerry the storyteller, so I'm going to be doing your narrating, asking
Okay, don't. I'm trying to record it.
Hot up in here. But now we're going.
Come up with some things that you don't know.
He's talking.
How many people have been to Door County before? Okay, so we don't have very many. Let's do it the other way. How many first timers?
Raise your hand.
Not too many. Okay, so I can't trick you other people because you know a lot. All right, before we get started, we got to do a couple housekeeping things here. And first and foremost is life jackets. Very, very important to know about these and where they are. And those are all adults. Just pull them out, zip them open, and just load them with life jackets, okay? It's pretty simple. I have a red and white cooler on the back of the boat that has cold water in it, chilled water, and it's hard to keep it chilled because, boy, it just goes like crazy, so I apologize. Real cold, so but whatever. $1 a piece, new cash register this year. Last year we had a mayonnaise bottle. This year we got a Skippy peanut butter. So just stuff it in there. We ask $1 for anything you take. There's diet soda, regular soda, water. We want to stay hydrated, and we just loaded it up, so there should be a problem for everybody. All right, on the backs of most of the seats, we have these things we call charts. When you are on the water, you follow a chart. When you're on the land, you follow a map. So this is a map of the water. When we turn to the Fish Creek side, you happen to have it handy there. You'll see we are taking trip number 2, which is Millionaires Row and West Island Cruise. So we're going to be looking at some of the millionaires' early days, the early houses, a little bit of history, and some of the that's happening today. There's some new ones being built and so on. We'll tell you all about it. We'll get there and then we'll go out to the island. Lighthouse, lots to see on this tour. I'm sure you'll be impressed.
It's a
There's
lake.
also binoculars there.
Nice.
And get cordwood to make their boat go. So they would drop people off, fishermen, they would pick up tourists and take them away and bring tourists up here. Way back to 1888 when the first resort was built here, we had tourists coming here to Fish Creek. So the town grew up to where it is, and it's 700 acres that Asa bought from the government and started selling to people. He had a chunk of land along the shore here that we call Millionaires Road that didn't sell for 50 years. And the reason it didn't sell is that people did not want to, I'm going to stand up front here so you people up in front are turning around to see me. Construction in those days was marginal, so nobody wanted that land. They just stayed in town, and we couldn't sell it until 1895 when George Clark appeared on the scene. Now George came from Harvey, Illinois. He was a stove manufacturer and very wealthy. And he started buying up land around here. In fact, one of the chunks of land he bought was Clark Park in the downtown area there, right next to our ticket booth. That beautiful park right at the marina there. That's Clark Park. He donated that to the village of Fish Creek. He bought all this land. Now you can see the trees, the lower trees there along the shoreline. That's the land he bought. Well, Asa was really happy about that because he had been hanging on to that land for 50 years and thought it would never sell. And what George Clark did is he went to the wealthy, fat cats, people with money and said, why don't you build a summer home here? Okay, it's not a good place to be in the winter, but how about just a summer home? You come here during the summer months. So, that's what happened, and we're going to see some of those houses. And we do have some people on board here from Green City. Green City is walking this down here where you see those streets. And there's condos in the condo, one of the first condo developments in 1974 is on that land now. But in the early days, at the turn of the century, Albert Friedman owned Atlanta, which is just very heavily wooded. And Fish Creek wanted to run one of their streets through the center of his property so it could come down to the shore and people could see the water and such, maybe have a park. He said, hey, wait a minute, I don't want you to break up my property because someday I may want to have condos or something that I want it all contiguous. So he said, I will give you a piece of property right at the end of your main road here. And I will build a stone wall and I will fill it in with dirt and I'll put grass there and that could be a place at sunset that people can come and watch the sun set over Green Bay. So, to get into this thing, I like pretending. When we were all in straw hats, white slabs, the ladies dressed in evening gowns, all of them eating ice cream from the Summertime Restaurant, which is 2 doors down from our ticket booth where you bought your tickets. It's now Behringer's Restaurant right up the street. And they are eating ice cream, and they are the millionaires whose homes we're going to see. They would come here on a regular basis, summertime. So, you visualize that, you see it in your mind. We're going to go on, and I'm going to show you the homes here in just a moment. Now, as we go to White Inn, I don't know if any of you have been to White Inn, but that is the restaurant that won the best breakfast in the continental United States on Good Morning America. You might want to go there. Right there, it's a white sign. You just come to the end of the street where you got your tickets and turn to the right and come to the end here. So you might want to go there in the morning. They're cherry stuffed something. What is it? French toast stuff. Yeah, it's really, really good. So, you might want to try that. Okay, we're going to skip this first house. I do different houses every time. Let's go to this one. This is the property where the first house was built on Millionaires Row, all the way along here. We're going to go along once there's a boat and see the rest of them. And that's where George Clark built a house. Now, he didn't stay there the whole time during his lifetime and his son's lifetime and his grandson, who was just left Door County, but the Clarks have been here for over 150 years. Anyway, he sold it to a very famous person who you will recognize, Curly Lambeau. Okay? Early coach and player for the Green Bay Packers. the namesake of Lambeau Field, where the Green Bay Packers play. An unexpected fire, he passed away. The Lambeau family still owned the house that was there before this house was built, and it burned down in an unexpected fire. And a lot of memorabilia from the early Packer days was lost in that fire. They sold it to the Schneiders. The Schneider family owns that now. They're a big trucking company in Green Bay. But that is the location of the first house. Now, as we go along here, folks, you're going to see stonework early in the tour. And that was allowed years ago. It's not allowed today. You can't do any stonework along the shoreline. It's got to be all natural. It's got to look natural. Some of it's nicer than others, so we're going to skip this house and look at this house, which is rather nice. That house was built in 1909, or the early single digits of the 1900s. And the folks that built it owned the Grundon Martin Manufacturing Company in St. Louis, Missouri. They made wooden bowls and spoons and forks. Very wealthy folks. They came up here on a steamer. They were credited with being one of the first folks that brought an automobile to Door County. Not a lot of places to drive around, but it did come in the early days. She loves stonework. Next house is one of their relatives. You can see the stonework continues down to this big round patio there. The next house next to it with the staircase is the Harris house. People from Chicago, or people who read the Chicago Sun-Times, might remember Sidney Harris, an editorialist for the Chicago Sun-Times. That's the Harris house, owned by him. He's no longer with us, he's passed away, but I used to read his articles when I lived in Chicago many years ago. This house here, this next house, is an example of how a house can grow. You see the 4 stone pillars. Up on top you see 3 dormers, and then the lighthouse up there and all that. That all came later. That's been expanding over the years. That's probably about 1915 to 1918, somewhere in there. And very nicely done architecturally. Longest house on Millionaire's Row at this time. And your first view of a boathouse. You can't build boathouses anymore. They're not allowed. But if you have it and you maintain it, you can keep it. This next house here, this gray house with the white trim, metal roof, Texas Instrument Company. Folks who own Texas Instrument, this is their Door County summer home. That's an old property as well. Now, as we look up out the window here, maybe a little hard for the people on the other side to see, but you can see it when we get farther out on the water. Behind these houses is what we call the Niagara Escarpment. The Niagara Escarpment runs the entire western shore of the Gore Peninsula, forms the spine of the peninsula. And an escarpment is simply a sheer rock face that is flat in front of it and flat on top of it. You can see there's houses right before it and houses on top of it. Why does it get the name Niagara? Because it runs for 800 miles up into Canada on a big arch, back down into New York State. Niagara Falls flows off of it. Same rock, Niagara Falls, same rock here, Dolostone. So it is part of the Niagara Escarpment. Geologists would name a rock formation where they first found it. Obviously, Niagara Falls was found before they realized this was all connected. This last house that towards the back of the boat, $3.5 million 4 years ago. Gives you an idea what something might cost. A lot of shorefront there. That increases the price. Here's a couple new ones that are under construction here. The first one that you see here is a monster, very, very large house. And just in the framing stages now, but the next one next to it is almost ready to move in. They're doing the finishing work on the inside. So as time goes on, houses are tore down, some of the older houses bite the dust and new stuff comes in. It seems to keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. These would be quite large. Well, here's a boathouse directly ahead of us. Property near the water, that tells you that's an old property. You can't really build near the water. These 2 new houses are fairly close to the water, but they are set back a bit. Depends on how deep your lot is. The lots are really narrow in the beginning here, and they get wider as you go down. Now you notice that we drive by places here where it's solid trees. Whether there are houses behind there, well, in many cases there are. You just can't see. Where I live over on the Lake Michigan side. My zoning is Heartland 10. You got to have 10 acres to build a house where I live. There's some that are 20 acres and whatnot. And that restricts somebody from buying a big chunk of land, cutting down all the trees, making suburbia and leave. We've had the experience with people coming in and making a big profit and leaving. So we really watch that. Here's a new house that was built in the last 10 years. Here's the standards. I'll point them out to you. A setback if you can get it. Wood stairs going down to the waterway, not stone stairs. The pier only has posts going down to the underside of the bay and not a solid pier, out of concrete or something. And last but not least, natural shoreline. No stone designed by man or put there by man, just natural rock that was there. Now you folks that are from Illinois and Chicago, let's take a ride and I'll tell you something that is quite interesting. Let's jump on a bus down on Lakeshore Drive. I want you to shake your head if you're with me so you know what I'm talking about. Lakeshore Drive, we're going to get on about Belmont. We're heading for Grant Park. You got it? As we travel along, and all down to Chicago to make this waterfront. People from Milwaukee, same thing. Same thing. Door County, Niagara Escarpment was shipped down there to build the shorefront. So when you're looking at that next time you drive by there, think about Door County because that's where it came from. Okay, here's a new house that's built right next to the water. I told you got to have the setback. There is land to have a setback here. But what happened here in this case is the people, we said, we've got to cut down a bunch of trees if you want us to set back on the property. How about letting us build on the same footprint that was there before? They said, that's great, we agree. So it's a newer house, so it's right up near the water on a deeper lot. Now some people have fixed the problem of the heavy trees in front of their house by cutting off the limbs, as you see in this red house here. The trees aren't cut down, but the limbs are cut off so that you can see light through there and you can see the house, but they didn't cut any trees. Now, as we look forward, you see towards the front of the boat, that white boathouse coming up. It's the largest boathouse on all of Millionaires Road. And there's a house that's going to come into view when we get a little closer. It's quite a large house. It's an older house. And it is the Clark house of today. Yes, the Clarks were here all the way up until 2 years ago and they left. Now, I didn't know the Clarks, but I did meet them. I do know them now, and I met them on this boat, and have had a lot of conversations with them. There was a lady sitting where this lady's sitting, a gentleman in the center, a lady at the window. This lady, I'm just not saying it, I'm going to be the biggest fool in the world. Mom always told me, be honest. If you don't know, just say you don't. There, you can see the house now. All right, so I said, I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. If I should know you, I'm trying to dance around and hold my dignity here. And she said, well, you recognize my husband? I said, no, I don't recognize him either. She said, this is Alan Clark. That's our house. He is George Clark's grandson. Boom, I fall on the floor. Oh my God, how'd I do? You did great. Give us your email address. You're a nice guy, Jerry. We want to help you. We'll answer any questions you got. Send me tons of pictures. Great.
Here we go, Donovan's gonna drive the boat. Go on.
Where's his mom?
That's us. That black line, that's where we're going. See right here? That's only about 1 feet of water. But we're gonna go real close.
He's driving the boat.
From time to time, the captain sometimes gets tired of driving the boat. So he finds somebody's grandma, a kid, or something else, and that's what we're going through now. Dave gets tired. So we got, wait a minute, stop, you guys, over here. Go by the captain. Come up to the aisle.
Donovan, there we go.
Now, you know, this is so funny. I watched this for 7 years. The kids go, no, I don't want to go. Okay, and then I see moms go, I'll give you $10. No. I'll give you $20. No. How about $30? Okay, I'll do it.
Real hard.
So maybe you can hold out and get your money. No, they just want a picture, that's all. And then they're gonna bring it up when you get married. Oh, look at this guy, he's got a swim things on, he's got a swim. How you doing, buddy?
The boat doesn't like to go where you
Just
point.
thinking about this, this is gonna be fun. Look at the little shoes and a hat on his
That I
arm.
know.
What's his name?
The little big eye.
Oh, he is a kid. Yeah, you just go up there and stand in line. Any of kids that want to drive it, stop. Green Bay. At the turn of the century in 1900, there was hundreds of thousands of them. Good news, they're coming back. There's 7,700 nesting pairs on the bay now. They have up to a 9-foot wingspan. And in the winter months, they migrate south into Kentucky, Tennessee, along the Mississippi River, anywhere there's open water that they can find. Come here and stay and during the summer months, come and go. Not here all the time. It's its name from the abundant amount of strawberries growing. Yes, sir. These folks have owned it for quite a while. I don't know the exact years, but the big name of that island is Charles Kinney. There's a lot of history. I could go on and on about it. All the way back to Asa Clark. Charles Kinney is the one that changed the name from Strawberry Island to, was it largest of Big Strawberry, they call it Strawberry, Little Strawberry, and Jack, and Clarence, 4 islands. And the only thing that these people don't have that all of us have on land is electricity. They got to provide their own electricity, which is not a problem at all nowadays because they use solar collectors. There's technology that makes that just like living on the mainland. And you can see their solar collector. It's starting to pop out from behind the brush there. Just look at the house. You see a square thing, a black square panel there. Now directly behind us and out that window, we won't see that again, is Chambers Island. It's a large island in the distance there. Largest island on Green Bay. 3.5 miles long by 1.5 miles wide and home to 50 families. And they live on that island and go back and forth. But directly behind us is Chambers Island, in the distance there. That's the largest island on Green Bay. That has a lighthouse and 50 families living there. Okay, now, this is quite interesting. Picture this, you live there, you gotta share it with the birds. That's quite interesting, all those birds. And they come nesting. Now the guy who lives there, I met him, he's invited me out, I'm embarrassed because for years